车座我当知觉小波当解作一让过去做我也给我种子多给制作他们知多给长住之我所需不知中心面多让日落的是你的眼波桑叶心多面的不我也如果南道心乱之不来修心之南界三宝不也知道知道我来知足土木天宝也去见古罗罗古罗多祖。
Hello everyone, and we continue with the text. And this morning we stopped at the prostration, and we were done with the prostration, and we just talked with the prostration where it was talking about the speech of the prostration. And during the speech here it's written, I extol the qualities of all the victors, whose oceans of praiseworthiness will never run dry, and praise all of the Sugatas. And the reason I praise all of the Sugatas are because it is because of all the qualities that are possessed by the victors. So meaning like, because the qualities that are possessed by the Buddha, and when I know that, and when I understand that, and because of that I do prostration towards the Buddha. Just like these days, when we know the qualities, like sometimes some of us like are very interested in music. And then when we are interested in the music, and then whenever we hear very nice music, then what we do is maybe we will take picture with the singer, or maybe we'll get some autograph, or maybe we will follow them on social media. Why do we follow them on social media? Or why do we get pictures with them? Or why do we go to their concert? It is because we like music and they compose the music that is best for me. And not only that, even with maybe some different kinds of sports. Sometimes maybe because we like basketball, then we follow the players who are extremely good in basketball. As if we are like interested in movies, then what we do is we follow the actors or maybe actress which we think are the, or not who we think are the best in their field. And just like that, because we like the bodhicitta, and because we like bodhicitta, and because of that we follow the person who is the best in practicing bodhicitta. And who is the person who is the best in practicing bodhicitta? Then it is definitely the Buddha himself and the bodhisattvas who are practicing. And because of that, we make prostration from our body, we make prostration from our speech, and we make prostration from our mind to the person who is perfect in bodhicitta.
那大家下午好。那现在呢，继续讲解我们从早上开始的普贤行愿品。早上呢，我们说了这个七支供养当中的礼敬， 礼敬的部分呢，我们讲到了这个语言上的礼敬。那在这里呢，相对的偈言就说：普出无尽妙言辞，尽于未来一切劫，赞佛甚深功德海。那在这里呢，为什么我们要赞佛呢？为什么要赞叹诸佛呢？是因为我们了解他们的功德，并且有甚深的理解他们的功德的难得，因此呢，我们对他们做出敬礼，对他们做出礼赞。那在这个相似的，我们在可能每个人会有不同的这个针对不同的本尊有特别的了解，知道他们的功德而去礼赞他们。那在日常生活当中，我们也有类似的情形，譬如说有一个人对音乐特别的有兴趣，那他可能房间会有这个某位歌手的这个照片，或是他的签名，或是呢他会特别去追踪一些某位这个歌手的这个社交账号啊等等，或是去听他的现场演出。那相同的他在这个音乐的领域呢，为什么追随这个人？因为他觉得说我喜欢音乐，而这个人呢是最符合我的音乐的这个口味的人，所以呢最适合我的，所以呢他去追随他。那像类似的，在这个运动啊，也有这样的情况，比如说一个篮球员啊，或是在电影啊，你会特别去追踪一个这个演员啊，或是会讨论说，我喜欢这个演员，因为他演哪出电影特别的好等等。所以呢，我们在这里做的，也是非常相似的。我们喜欢，我们追从菩提心，所以呢，我们追随的对象则是，对于这个修持菩提心最有心得的、最完整的这个对象，也就是佛陀他本人。或是说诸菩萨众，所以呢，因此我们透过身语意三门来礼敬这个佛菩萨，因为这个我们礼敬的对象，它是已经完整圆满的展现菩提心的对象。
And even the name of the text here says the noble aspiration for excellent conduct. And when we are talking about excellent conduct, we mean when their behavior is perfect. And when we talk about it, it means that their behavior or their conduct from their body, from their speech and their mind, all three needs to be perfect. And the main example that we can give for someone who is perfect is normally the Buddha that we give. So because of that, he is like someone who is perfect from his body, from his speech and from his mind. And with that we know someone how good their practice is. Because sometimes we do hear, maybe some of the teachers or maybe some of our Dharma friends and Dharma friends or maybe Dharma brothers, sisters. We sometimes hear people talking, oh, my Dharma friend is a very good practitioner, but it is very easy for him or her to get angry, or maybe for him or her to get envy, or maybe for him or her to get attached. If it is like that, it means that their practice is actually not that well. Sometimes people think that just because they have attended so many teachings, so many pujas, so many empowerments, and they try not to miss all this empowerment, teaching, pujas, they think that they are a very good practitioner. But actually it is not like that. When we talk about someone who is very excellent in conduct or excellent in behavior or good in behavior, they have to be like not so angry all the time, not so attached, good from their body, good from their speech, and also good from their mind. And just because they can recite or maybe they can sit in like meditation pose for a very long time, that doesn't mean that they are a very good Dharma practitioner. The main way we can say someone is a good practitioner is how they behave from their body, speech and mind.
那甚至这个我们所学的这个经典的名称是普贤行愿品，也就是说这个你的行持行仪是普贤的，也就是非常的完好的全善的这样的完美的。那这样的意思呢，什么叫做完美的行仪呢？就是说你透过身语意三门都是完好无缺，都是善的。那通常我们说到完美的这个存在，我们最常举的例子就是佛陀，就是他的身语意都是善的、普善的、普贤的。所以呢，这就是我们为什么知道说佛陀是我们应该追随的一个对象。那有时候呢，我们会常常听到家人或是朋友说，某位法友或是我的某位朋友是特别好的修持者，或是特别好的佛子，只是呢，他可能脾气比较坏，或是比较有这个贪执等等。那事实上呢，这些展现呢，就是象征着他可能在这个他的修持上面，并没有大家说的这么好。有时候我们会觉得有一个人，他时常去参加灌顶法会啊，去参加这个法会共修，去听取这个佛法的开示，都没有缺席过，我们就觉得他是好，他的修持很好。事实上是这样吗？并不是，要看一个人是否好，他的行仪是否是善的，要看他是不是特别容易生气，特别容易执着。要去从他的身体、言语还有心意上去做判断，并不是说他可以做禅修做得好久，或是他在念诵这个仪轨特别的顺畅，就代表他修持得很好，并不是这样。首先呢，我们要去观察一个人的身语意。
And then after prostration, we will talk about the second branch offering, which is making offering. And even for offering, we have like two different kinds of offering. One is general offering, and then one is highest offering or unsurpassable offering or special offering. So the first two stanzas are talking about general or basic offering. Meto damba, tenwa damba, da sinye namda, jupa tu joda, marme joda, dupa damba, kawa teta lani chabarki. Nasa damba namda ti joda, chime pa matrap nyamba, da kupa kepa papi chupun, kawa teta lani chabarki. So here we talk about 10 different kinds of offering. So there is flower, there is garlands, and there is symbols, ointments, parasols, lamps, incense, and robes, fragrances, and powders, and all this. And even when we are making offering of maybe a flower or maybe garland or music or whatever we offer the best ones, from appearance, from color, from maybe smell or whatever. And whenever we make that offering to the Buddhas, we try to offer the best quality ones. And this we say like the basic offering or normal offering.
那我们这样就讲完了这个礼敬或是礼赞的部分。七支供养第一支就是礼赞，第二个呢是这个供养的部分。那在这里呢，相对的这个偈子就是接下来的2节。以诸最胜妙花曼，伎乐涂香及伞盖，如是最胜庄严具，我以供养诸如来。最胜衣服，最胜香，末香烧香与灯烛，一一皆如妙高具，我悉供养诸如来。那在这里呢，就讲到了我们所做供养的时候会供养的一些这个物品，如这个花，如花蔓，如伎乐，不管是这个法器或是音乐等等，然后涂香、伞盖等等。那这里说到最胜庄严具，就是说呢，我们在供养的时候，往往我们会将最好的供养给佛陀，或是我们尽我们自己的能力以内供养我们可以的最好的给这个诸佛。
And then comes the special offering here. Chobokana lamenga choba teta kyo tamjilayamo sambojila tipedoda ki kyo kulna chazo chobar ki. And even when we are talking about offering, this is like the main practice for the antidote of attachment and stinginess. So offering is like the antidote for these two poisons. And here when we are talking about highest form of offering, or the special or the unsurpassable offering, so this is when we are making the practice. So when we are practicing or when we are meditating, and then when we are practicing or meditating and from our mind we make offering to the Guru, and when we do that, so we do that from our practice, and we offer the best flowers, we offer the best garlands, we offer the best beads and everything, music and everything. And this is much more like higher kind of offering than offering the real flower. And that is because, for example, here we have like 10 different offerings, whether it is flower or music or ointments or incense or whatever it is. So when we offer real flower, then real flowers, no matter how much we try, it might look perfect, but they will not be going to be perfect for all the time. So today, this flower in front, maybe it will look very perfect, maybe with no stains, maybe the color is going to be perfect, maybe the shape is going to be perfect, maybe for a while, but then later, maybe after a few moments, maybe after a few hours, it is going to be wilted or stained. And even the music and even fragrance, even incense, music, whatever it is not going to be perfect for all the time. And sometimes when we make real offering, sometimes we do have like little attachment to whatever we are offering. And not sometimes, but most of the time we do have that when we are making an offering. But when we are making an offering from our mind, when we are like in a very good meditation, and then that is like the perfect offering that we are able to do. So even when we are meditating and when we offer a flower from our mind to our Guru, so that is like a practice. And the best form of offering that we can give to our Guru is our practice. And if you read any biographies of great masters, you will not see anyone who got enlightened because they offered certain amount of money, or maybe because they offered a house, or maybe they offered wealth, maybe they offered possession. Whatever they offer, we don't see anyone in the biographies. So some of you might have read many biographies of different masters, some of you might not have read, but maybe you might have read at least once or two different biographies.
那刚刚漏说了一点，就是第二支七支供养，第二支的这个供养这个部分呢，有分两种供养，普通的供养和无上的供养。刚刚讲的实际的物品这些供养，则是属于前者普通的供养。接下来讲无上的供养，就是将这个无上的供养这个部分。那在这个修持供养，这个大致上来说呢，是对治什么样的烦恼呢？是对治我们的贪执、我们的执着，还有这个吝啬这样的烦恼。那当我们在做这个禅修，或是在做这个修持佛法修持的时候呢，在这个仪轨当中做观想的。以观想的方式对我们的上师还有诸佛菩萨做供养，这是我们第二种无上的供养，这是最圆满的一种供养。也就是说，我们观想，我们用这个意念去想象，将最好的花、最好的这个花蔓、最好的音乐、最好的这个颜饰等等供养给我们的上师，这是第二种无上供养。就像刚刚所说的实际的供养上，我们有花、有花蔓、有颜饰、有音乐等等，不管是什么样的供养，我们刚刚有说过，我们尽可能的去将最好的供养给上师， 但是实际上，不论我们怎么去尝试，都不可能将圆满的、最完美的供养给上师。因为譬如说我们面前的这些花，它可能今天供养的时候，它的颜色、形状、它的状态是完美的，但是可能几刻之后，它就开始枯萎了。那相同的音乐、涂香、烧香等等这些东西，都不可能恒久的圆满的。所以呢，大部分的时候，我们可以供养最好的，以我们的能力的，可以供养的最好的都有一个极限。所以呢，当我们在以禅修或是禅定，去以意念去观想这样的供养，从心里去供养我们的上师，这是最圆满的，是无上的供养。而最好的可以供养上师最好的东西是什么呢？就是我们自身的修持。那可能呢，各位有一些人读过不同的这个上师、不同的大师们的成就者们的这个生平。事迹啊，或是故事。那事实上呢，没有人透过供养财物，不管他供养多少钱财，甚至供养了自己的房子，都没有人因此而证悟。
For example, if you read the biography of Milarepa, you will not see or read in the text that he was making so much offering, like physical offering to his master Marpa. And not only that, even if you read other biographies, you won't see that much of making offering. The main offering that we can make is the offering of practice that we can do. And when we are able to practice, that will make us much more closer and near to enlightenment. But these days, most of the people, we try to compare when people are making physical offering, and the more amount of, or the more number of times we see them, like maybe offering mandalas, or maybe them offering something to their gurus, to their teachers, then we think that, oh, they are very good practitioners. But actually, that might be good, but still it is not the best way of practicing, or it is not the best way of making offering. The best offering that we can do is practicing what we have been taught and trying to meditate, and whatever we have learned, we put them into practice. And then when we are able to do that, we will see that we are progressing in our path, and we are achieving much more wisdom in our path. But just making physical offering again and again without much mental or without much thinking, it doesn't make much difference. So the physical amount that we offering doesn't make much difference, but it's the mental offering that we do is the most important.
譬如说，当你去这个阅读弥勒日巴尊者的这个生平，你会看到它里面并没有记载他是透过供养上师多少财物受用而成就的。相同的别的大师、别的成就者的生平故事，他们的事迹里面也不会有这样的记载。他们主要对上师最大的供养呢，就是供养他们自身的修持。他们自身的佛法修行呢，也因此呢会，透过自身的佛法修行，也会因此将我们更往这个正悟的路上往前推一些。所以呢，但是呢，相反的，与之说看自己的修持，现代人更常做的是去比较互相的这个供养的程度、供养的数量。譬如说，我们可能看到一位法友很常站在前面供养曼达，或是呢常常上去给上师做供养，我们就会觉得他是一个很好的修行人。但是呢，当然这样的修持也是非常值得赞叹，也是好的，但是并不是最好的。最好的供养呢，就是去供养你的这个自己的这个修行，供养就是展现出来说你是有实际上去这个实修，将你上师所教的在日常生活当中应用出来、活用出来了。这样子一来呢，真的去实修，真的去禅修，才会 让我们在修法的道路上前进，也才会让我们真正的这个得到这个智慧。所以呢，只是在这个物质上的没有毫无考量下的去做供养，然后没有头绪的做供养，不管做多少的供养，实际上对我们自身的这个成长是没有太大的这个改变的。最重要的供养呢，就是透过这样子这个心意上的供养，这是最重要的。
And from this 7th stanza, I also imagine offering to all victors that which is vast and unsurpassable. So this one is describing about the highest form of offering. And the next 2 lines, I offer and bow to the victors with the power of faith in excellent conduct. And here we are again saying in short why I am making prostration, why I am making offering to the Buddha, because they are like the epitome of excellent conduct or perfect conduct, and because they have the excellent conduct, and because of that I am making prostration, and not only making prostration, but again I am also making offering to the Buddhas.
所以呢，这里的这个章节就说我以广大圣谢心深信一切三世佛，这2句呢就是在说我们刚刚所说的第2种供养，也就是无上的供养，就是以透过我们的这个心意去想象或是去意念，也就是所谓的广大的圣谢心。然后呢，接下来两个这个寄句呢，悉以普贤恨愿力，普遍供养诸如来。这里在说的呢，就是再一次的强调，为什么我们要去供养这个如来？为什么我们是因为他有这个普贤，也就是完美的这个善。完整的善，所以呢，以这样的理由去做之前所说的礼敬还有供养。
And then comes the 8th stanza. And here we are talking about the confession. And confession is more like the antidote for anger. And what are we confessing? We are confessing whatever here, using my body, speech, and also my mind. I confess each and every one of them. And when we are talking about before that, under the influence of desire, hatred, and ignorance, I have committed wrongs. So here when we are saying I have committed wrongs, it doesn't only mean the one that I have done myself, and it doesn't only include that. Sometimes it is done by me, and sometimes we let others do. So even if I want to kill someone, sometimes maybe I'm not able to kill, so I ask somebody else to do for killing or maybe stealing or whatever. So we have to know that it is not only done by you, but sometimes you ask somebody else to do, and it is sometimes done by you, and sometimes it is done by others because you ask them to do. And sometimes even if you don't tell someone to do, but when you see someone maybe killing or maybe stealing or maybe lying, and if you rejoice in their killing or if you rejoice in the stealing, so these are also all negative actions. So we try to confess these also.
接下来第8节呢，是我习所造诸恶业，皆由无始贪嗔痴，从身语意之所生，一切我今皆忏悔。这是7支供养当中的第3支，也就是忏悔。忏悔所对治的是我们的嗔恨心。那在这里呢，我们就是透过我们的身语意3门去做忏悔。那要忏悔什么呢？这里就说了，是从我们无始以来，因为贪嗔痴所造就的这个恶业，我都 去做忏悔。那在这里是什么意思呢？就是说，不仅是我，有时候呢，这个恶业是我自己亲自去做的，有时候是我让别人做的，让他人做的。譬如说，我们请某个人去做杀害众生的动作，或是请别人去偷盗等等，这些因为我们请求而去做的，这些也是我们自己的恶。然后呢，或是说我们有时候甚至没有叫别人做，但是我们看着别人做，我们看着他杀盗，或是妄语打妄语去骗人等等，我们心中升起了随喜，或是我们升起了欢喜，对别人的恶业升起了这个好开心的心，这样的这些都是恶业。以上的这些恶业，我们全部都要忏悔。
And again, continuing with this, so for example, even when we commit a wrong, so sometimes it is because of attachment, sometimes it is because of hatred, and sometimes it is because of ignorance. For example, like killing, sometimes we kill because of attachment, for maybe we like to eat meat, so sometimes we see people killing or butchering maybe cattle or maybe sheep or whatever, and that is because we are killing an animal because we want to eat the meat, and or maybe we want to wear a shoe made of leather, or maybe we want to wear a jacket or coat of leather, and these are all like killings, but this is because we are attached to the belt or maybe the food or maybe the jacket. So for killing, there might be, the reason might be attachment. And sometimes it is because of anger. So when we get into fight, sometimes we are very angry with the other person, and because of the anger we kill a person, or maybe when like a mosquito, when they bite us, then we get very angry and then we just clap our hand and then we kill the mosquito. So these are all like killing through anger. So sometimes it can be attachment, sometimes it can be anger, and then sometimes it can be is ignorance, because sometimes we think that when we make offering of blood or when we make offering of sacrifice rituals, so you might have seen in some places, but maybe is not very popular these days, but you will still hear or see in news, or maybe you might have seen in real life also. So these are all like killing because of ignorance. So even for killing, the reason can be attachment, the reason can be anger, or it can be ignorance. And just like for killing, even for stealing, it can be attachment, anger, or ignorance. For lying, for whatever negative actions that we do, the reason will either be ignorance or attachment or anger.
所以当我们行恶的时候呢，有时候是因为我们的贪心，有时候是因为我们的嗔恨心，有时候是因为我们的愚痴，我们去做这些恶行。例如说呢，我们说以杀害来说，我们可能因为我们的贪心，贪什么呢？贪执这个肉食，可能我们想要吃肉，我们就去杀这个杀鸡、杀羊。或是说呢，我们贪着我们的衣物，我们想要穿皮革，我们就去杀羊，取它的皮来做夹克，做这个外套，或是做皮带。所以呢，贪执对于食物，对于这个皮带，对于这个外套的贪执，促使我们在这里做了杀害的动作。或是呢，有可能是因为我们的嗔恨心，可能我们在跟别人起冲突的过程、打架的过程，升起了这个嗔恨心，因而去杀害别人，或是说呢，也可能小至是一只这个蚊子，蚊子呢叮了我们，让我们非常的生气，然后呢一怒之下呢，双手一拍，这个蚊子就死了，就杀死了这只蚊子。所以呢，你的这个杀害的动机有可能是贪心，有可能是这个嗔恨心，那也有可能是愚痴或是无明。那这种例子呢，举个例子，可能有人为了做血祭而去这个杀害，那或是做某种这个献生的这种仪式。 那有些地方会这么做，可能现在比较少了，但是有时候我们还是会在新闻上啊等等这个媒体上听闻到这样的事情，所以这就可能是因为愚痴而去做杀害或是无名。所以呢，光是杀害杀生这个恶行，你就可能是因为贪嗔痴3种不同的烦恼而促使你做一样的这个的恶行。那相同的，我们的偷盗这样的恶行，或是这个打妄语，或是欺骗、欺瞒等等这些恶行，种种恶行都有可能是贪嗔痴3种烦恼所衍生出来的。
And I myself think that confession is one of the most beneficial practice that we can do for ourselves. And whether we have done something bad from our body, or something bad from our speech, or something from our mind, it is very important to confess. And confession means that we need to remember what wrongs that we have done. And in the beginning, it is very difficult to know or to understand that I have done something wrong, because most of us, because of our ego, we don't think that we have done something wrong. But the more you think about it, the more properly you think, you will see or you will remember that so many things that you have done, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, and sometimes because of attachment, sometimes because of anger, sometimes because of ignorance. And sometimes you do it from your body, sometimes from your speech, and sometimes from your mind. And whenever you try to recall them, and it is much easier when you recall them yourself, because again, because of our ego, when some other person tells us, we normally tend to get a little offended. When somebody else say, oh, you're not practicing well, or your action is not right, the way you're reading is not right. And all of us do have ego. And when somebody else who we think is maybe not a great master, or who we don't have so much respect, when our friend or Dharma friend, when they tell something to us, saying that the way you are practicing is wrong, or maybe something is, means like our fellow brothers and sisters who are in this samsara. And them, we see them very often, not often, but almost every day. And if we are able to rejoice in what they are going through, then that is going to be of great help for us. Because, for example, when when His Holiness the Karmapa was here, or maybe when Thangpa Rinpoche was here, what happens is some of us are able to spend so much time with them, and maybe some of us are not able to spend so much time with them. And when we are not able to spend so much time with them, and then when we see somebody else maybe going out with them, or maybe eating with them, or maybe spending time with them, doing maybe practice, then so many people get a little envious. And when we get envious, it is not so good. It is not good for ourselves. Then envy doesn't do anything to the other person, but the only thing that does is it brings disturbance in our mind. But if we are able to rejoice in them, so whether that is a person who we like, or a person who we don't like, but if we know how to rejoice in what they are doing, so if then it brings more peace to us, thinking that, oh, he or she is very lucky, very fortunate, being able to spend so much time with His Holiness the Karmapa, or maybe he or she is being so much fortunate, being able to spend so much time with Rinpoche, or maybe when someone is making offering, like physical offering, so instead of getting like offended or getting envy, if we rejoice in what they are doing, then we also get the same merit. It is more beneficial for us, because when someone is making offering, and then if I rejoice in the offering, so it is like making 2 offerings. So they are making 1 offering, so we get that merit, and again I'm rejoicing. So I am rejoicing, so again I have another merit. So that is like 2 different merit. And if we see like 3 persons making offering, and then if I rejoice, so I get like 4 different kinds of merit from the 3 person and also from myself. So it is very important to know that we have to know that the importance of rejoicing. So whenever we see someone making offering, or someone wearing nice clothes, or maybe driving nice cars. So whatever, even in physical world, we can always rejoice in whatever good quality of life they have, or even in the practice, if their practices are going strong, even if they are able to spend some time with all these big Rinpoches, masters, we can, what we should be doing is we just rejoice in them.
那在这里呢，就说到了十方一切诸众生，二乘有学及无学，一切如来与菩萨，所有功德皆随喜。所以我们如果要去这个随喜菩萨、如来，还有这些无学有学众，可能对我们来说，就会比较困难。所以我这里最重要的就是一切诸众生，我们要学会去随喜一切众生。有时候呢，我们可能有这个大师来，譬如说大宝法王来，或是创古仁波切来的时候，他们非常的繁忙，所以我们可能没有机会，或是没有时间，可以跟他们共享一些这个，没有机会跟他们共享一些时间。那相同的，当我们看到别人有这个机会的时候，我们可能会觉得有点羡慕。那这样的羡慕的心情呢，会让我们升起烦恼。所以呢，我们要去学会去随喜别人，譬如说，不管对方是我们喜欢的或是不喜欢的，当我们看到说有一个人有这样的机会，可以跟这些大德，一起这个花比较多的时间在这些大德身边，我们要升起这个随喜。这样子的话，如果可以由衷的随喜他们的话呢，我们的内心会比较平静一些、平稳一些。那相同的，在做供养的时候，或是别人在做供养的时候，你如果可以由衷的去随喜他们，为他们所做的供养感到欢喜的话，那你自己也会得到他们所做供养的一样的利益。所以呢，这样一来，一个供养就好像变成两个供养一般，不仅是供养的这个人有累积了福德，你自己随喜也累积了一样的福德。那3个人做供养的时候，就变成4个人的福德，因为你在这边随喜，这3个人的功德不仅是3个人各自的供养，还有你自己随喜的供养。所以呢，要去了解到随喜是一个非常重要的一个行持。那不管你是随喜日常生活中别人穿着美好的衣服，还是有着非常好的修持，或是有机会有时间去跟亲近这些大师大德们，我们都要学习去随喜他们。
And for this, we also have a very nice story during the lifetime of Buddha. And as most of you know that when Buddha was alive, he used to travel to so many different places. And then when he was traveling, he also had so many disciples of him. So sometimes maybe there were like 500, sometimes thousands and thousands of students. And during one of his travel, there were like few thousands of students. And the king of that place invited the Buddha, and he was able to make offering to the Buddha and to all the Sangha members. So he offered like clothes, food, make offerings. So whatever it was possible, so he made offering for like maybe few days. And then at the end of the offerings, so we do like dedication prayer. So when they were about to start the dedication prayer, so most of the people, they thought that the Buddha is going to dedicate the merit to the king because he offered so many things to all him and even for his students. But the Buddha said that no, we are going to dedicate this all this merit to an old woman who was like a beggar just outside the palace. And when they asked why, then he said that she was rejoicing in all the activities or all the generosity shown by the king, and the generosity that she showed has more power than the generosity that was shown by the king. So from this we know that it is not the physical offering that is important, but it is actually the mental offering or mental practice that we are able to, that is more important and that brings more benefit towards our practice.
那在佛陀的时代呢，也有一个这样的典故，就是呢，当时佛陀在世的时候，他前往了许多不同的地方历游，然后呢讲法。那他总是有非常多的这个弟子们跟随，有时候是可能500位这个弟子，有时候可能上千上万。那有一次呢，在这个成千上万的这个弟子当中，讲法。那当地的一位国王就在佛陀讲法的时候嘛，每天来供养佛陀，还有供养僧团，供养他们食物、衣物，或是任何他可以有这个能力供养的这个受用。在佛陀讲法的这几天，他每天都做了这样的供养。那在讲完这个法会结束之后呢，要做一个回向，大家都想说佛陀应该会将这个这个法会特别回向给这位国王，因为他每天都供养了佛陀，还有他诸多的这个弟子们。但是呢，佛陀就说我们要供养给在这个城门旁，或是这个寺院的这个门口的这位这个乞丐女人。为什么要回向给他呢？因为当国王在做这些供养的时候，他由衷的升起了这个欢喜、这个随喜的心。而他这样的随喜的心呢，他所升起这样的这个布施的随喜的布施心的功德强烈过于了这个国王做布施的这个心态。所以呢，在这里就一再的强调了我们内心，或是说我们以禅定去做的这样的这个供养是多么的重要，而且多么的有利益。
And then rejoice is like the antidote for envy. So whenever we feel envy, rejoicing is the best way to practice. Because as you might have seen or as you might have experienced, because sometimes when we are living in the monastery, or maybe even not even if in the monastery, sometimes when we are in the real world, I guess, then when we see someone doing something very good, then we get very envious. If someone is able to dress very nicely, then we get envious sometimes. Sometimes when we see someone having a very nice house, then we get envious. Sometimes when we see someone is able to sing very nicely, then again we get envious. But instead of getting envy, if we are able to practice rejoice, then it is not going to make us envy. It is just going to make us feel more happy that, oh, someone is able to sing so nicely. It is very good for her, good for him. So I rejoice in that. If someone is able to live in a very nice house, I rejoice in their merit, in able to live in a very nice house. So when we get envy, it only brings us more suffering. But if we are able to rejoice, it will bring us less suffering, and it will only make us much happier. So it is very important to practice the practice of rejoicing.
那随喜呢，是可以对治我们的这个嫉妒心这样的一个烦恼。那有时候不管是在寺院或是在日常生活当中，我们有时候可能看到身边的人进步的非常快，或是做某件事情非常的上手，或是呢住在大房子啊，或是唱歌，甚至唱歌非常好听，我们都会升起这个嫉妒心。但是呢，这个嫉妒心呢，只会为我们带来烦恼。如果我们可以去随喜他，由衷的为他感到开心的话，不要升起这个嫉妒心的话，那反而我们自己本身也会感到比较欢喜。我们可以去看到一个会唱歌的人，我们可能听着他的歌声，为他感到开心他可以唱得这么好听的歌；或是看到一个人住非常好的这个大房子，我们为他感到开心，有这样的福德，住在这么漂亮的房子里。这样子历来呢，我们的这个痛苦或这个我们的烦恼会减少，因为这个嫉妒心会为我们带来痛苦，而随喜呢会减少痛苦，为我们增长欢喜心。
And then comes the 10th stanza. So here it is offering of requesting to turn the wheel of the Dharma. Kanam choju jiten chomada chanju rimba sanke ma chanju kombo teta da ke tamchelo kolo lana meba ko. This is like the antidote for the ignorance, because when we don't receive teaching, then we are always ignorant. But when we receive teaching and when we know that what the poisons are, what is afflicting us, what we need to practice, how to get enlightened, then that happens, then we get enlightened. So requesting to turn the wheel of the Dharma is the antidote for the ignorance.
接下来第10节是十方所有世间灯，最初成就菩提者，我今一切皆劝请，转于无上妙法轮。在这里呢是七支供养当中的请转法轮。那为什么要请转法轮呢？因为我们刚刚已经说了，我们了解到我们有这样子不同的这个烦恼，不同的这个毒、三毒、五毒等等不同的烦恼。那我们知道了要怎么对治这些烦恼，就是透过修持佛法。所以呢，请佛陀转这个法轮，宣说佛法。那请转法轮这个供养呢，七支供养当中的这个请转法轮，就是专门对治无知或是无明愚痴。
And here we see guardians or maybe wakened to Buddhahood, found detachment, lambs of the wool. So these are all talking about Buddha himself. It's just different names for the Buddha. And then when we say turning the wheel of the Dharma, and some of you might not understand it well. So one reason we say turning the wheel of the Dharma is it is just like the wheel that we have, for example, like on our cars or maybe bikes or whatever. And what does the wheel of the bike or wheel of the car do is it gets us from one point to another point. So just like that, when we practice the Dharma, what happens is we are moving from this samsara to nirvana place, and we are being moved by this Dharma from samsara to nirvana, and that is why we call it the wheel of the Dharma.
那这里说了，十方所有世间灯，最初成就菩提者。这些呢都是在形容佛陀，以这个世间灯来这个比喻佛陀最初成就菩提的这个也是佛陀。那接下来呢，他说我今一切皆劝请，转于无上妙法轮。转法轮这个概念，可能有些人不理解或是没有听说过，为什么将佛法转为宣说佛法比喻成转法轮呢？因为法轮就好像这个车子或是汽车或是脚踏车上的轮胎一样，当这些轮胎转动的时候呢，你就可以从一个地方到下一个地方。所以在这里呢，透过佛陀转法轮呢，我们就可以从这个轮回当中达到涅槃。所以因此将这个宣说佛法比喻成转妙法轮。
And not only moving us from one place to another, but again from when we practice, we move from one stage to another stage. So now we are very normal human being, and when we practice, we become maybe a better human being, and then slowly maybe we'll become like the beginner level of Bodhisattva, and then we become Bodhisattva, then we become like, we have different stages of Bodhisattva, and then at the end we become Buddha. So that is also one reason we say the turning the wheel of the Dharma, because we are moving from one stage to another stage.
那不仅是从一个地方达到另一个目的地，而在我们的佛法修持当中也分为不同的阶段。那转法轮也可以让我们从一个阶段到下一个阶段。首先我们为人，那在透过修持佛法某种程度后、某种时间后，我们可以成为一个比较好的人、比较善良的人。然后可能接下来我们成为初地菩萨，初地菩萨之后呢，菩萨有不同的阶层，不同的修为，我们成为这个登地菩萨之后呢，有不同的这个次第达到这个大菩萨，然后最后成佛等等，这样不同的修持的阶段，也是透过转法轮可以达到的。
And the other reason we say wheel of the Dharma is if you know some maybe Hindu mythology or maybe Tibetan Buddhist mythology, then you will see a weapon which is being held by the deities. So it is just like a wheel. So it is like round and with edges around. And when you throw it, it is because of the sharp edge, you kill someone. And what we kill here is we kill our negative emotions. We kill our attachment, we kill our anger, we kill our jealousy, we kill our ignorance, we kill our pride and all this. And when we use the Dharma, what happens is we kill all these negative emotions that we have. So just like the weapon will kill someone, here we are not killing somebody else, but we are killing our own ego, attachment, anger, and jealousy. So that can be also one way of describing turning the wheel of the Dharma.
那不仅于此，这个法轮呢，如果大家对这个印度或是西藏的这些神话故事或是神话典故有一些印象的话呢，你会发现在这个印度的神祇上面，他们有一些神祇，他们手持的这个武器是如法轮一样的形状，如法轮一般是圆形的，但是它的边角是有这个刺的，或是这个锋利的。那这个是一个武器，当他们投掷出去的时候呢，就可以杀害敌人。那在这里呢，我们所要杀害的、要降服的，就是我们的负面情绪，也就是我们的烦恼、贪嗔痴慢疑等等这些烦恼。所以呢，在我们运用佛法之后呢，我们就可以去斩灭我们的这些负面情绪、我们的烦恼、我们的自我、我们的执着，还有这个嫉妒心等等。
And then comes the 11th stanza. Nyangen taten kashin tetan la togo kolam peshin dewechi kapashin ke dunyi shubayan take tamara visowaki. Here we are requesting the Buddha not to go into nirvana. And when you do the long life prayer, so that is also like a part of this branch offering. So we are requesting our Rinpoches not to pass away. And the main reason we are asking them not to pass away is because the Buddhas, they have the perfect knowledge, and when they are alive, what they can do is they are able to give teachings to us. And when they are teaching, it doesn't necessarily have to be like spoken teaching. So sometimes just from their actions, from their body, sometimes just from this mind, because of the blessing, we do receive so many different kinds of teachings. And sometimes people think that when we have to receive teaching, it has to be oral teaching. But actually it is not only that, but because from the way that they live their life, even that is a huge teaching for us. Because when you are able to spend some time with a great master, even if they don't say anything, but the way they behave, the way they do, or the way they carry on with their daily life is going to be a huge blessing to us. And even if they don't say anything, they still teach us in so many different ways. So that is why we request the Buddhas, we request our masters not to pass away, to live in this world for eons and eons, and keep showing us all the different kinds of teachings.
那第11节呢，是这个请佛住世，七支供养当中的请佛住世，也是请佛不入涅槃。那在这里呢，相应的四句偈是：诸佛若欲示涅槃，我悉至诚而劝请，唯愿久住刹尘劫，利乐一切诸众生。那这里呢，就好像我们平常在这个念诵文当中会念诵这个仁波切或是上师的这个长寿祈请文，这也是七支供养当中的请佛住世的一种这个修持。那为什么我们要请这个仁波切这个不要圆寂呢？ 就是因为我们的上师或者仁波切就好比佛陀一般，他们拥有圆满的这个智慧。当他们在生的时候，在我们面前的时候，他们有许多方式可以教导我们，并不只是说我们有时候说这个教导，我们可能会想到就是开示，口头上的开示，但并不止于言语上的这个开示，他们的身体上的行为。还有他们的他们身体上的行为就可以教导我们很多事情了，或是他们心意上的这个加持，都是可以对我们有这个帮助的。那有时候呢，我们想到要教导，就是要透过口头上的教导。但是呢，看着这些大德或是仁波切，我们只是透过他们生活的方式，他们在日常生活的所作所为，我们就可以受益良多。所以呢，有时候呢，并不是说一定要他们开口，有时候他们静静坐在那里，什么都不做，什么都不说，我们就看着去观察他们的行为，我们也可以学到很多，他们依然可以教导我们。所以呢，在这里我们要祈请我们的上师不要入涅槃。就是很久很久都不要入涅槃，然后呢，不断的继续的这个引导我们。
And for example, like when His Holiness the Karmapa was here, or maybe when Thakur Rinpoche was here, so even if they don't teach, we can see that we do receive lots of teaching. For example, when they were here, they were maybe just living in their room. But what happens is when they are here, we see so many students coming here. Then in normal days, maybe we won't have so many students coming here. But when they are here, even if they are not giving teaching, even if they are not giving any empowerment, even if they are just living in their room, in the temple, we see so many students coming here. And when they come here, it is not like they just come here and do nothing. They come here, they make kora around the stupa. Kora means walking around the stupa. Even that is of huge benefit to us. And then when they come here, most of the people, they come here because of faith and devotion towards them. And then we meet other Dharma brothers and sisters. And when we meet them, we talk about dharmas. We talk about what practice we are doing, how we are doing, and why we are doing. And so many different kinds of dharma activities we talk with our Dharma brothers and sisters. So even if they come here and even if they don't give teaching, we still receive so many teachings indirectly from them. But if they don't come here, we will not have so many students here. But when they are here, we do see, and all of you might have been here for few years. So those who have been for few years, you will know, or even if not here, maybe in your place, wherever you have come from, when there is a great master, you see lots of people attending the teachings, and even if they don't teach, we still receive so many different kinds of blessing, and which makes us a better human being.
那例如说这个大宝法王或是仁波切来寺院的时候，大家可能也有经历过这个，就算他们在没有讲课的时候，比如说没有开示、没有法会的这些日子里，还是会有许多这个弟子们、许多学生来这个寺院，那可能他们没有讲话，没有这个是直接的这个教导，但是这些弟子们，因为他们知道，因为上师在，所以会来这里，参拜，会这个比如说绕塔呀，走经啊等等的，这些都是都在累积福德，都在累积这个，善业，所以呢，就即使他们都没有在讲话，都没有做什么，我们也是可以从中获益，或是说呢，因为有大家抱着同样的信心、前进心，一起来这个寺院，直到上师在里面，很多人来这个拜访， 那抱着一样的信心、前进心，然后呢，开始跟自己的这个法友们、自己的师兄师姐们这个交流，然后呢，会有一些比较友善的这个交流，譬如说会，互相问候啊，会互相讨论佛法的修持啊，这些呢，都是在这个间接当中对互相有了这个利益，所以呢。在座可能有一些法友们都经历过这个法王来或是仁波切来的这些日子，那甚至说新的朋友们可能没有，但是呢，可能在你们不管你们是何处而来的，可能在你们当地有这个大师来的时候，你们也会有看到相同的这个景象，只是他们的存在呢，就可以让。他身边的这个人，身边的弟子们，成为更好的这个更好的、更善良的人。
And not only with that, even with our actions, we can see when they are here, we do get blessing. When we check ourselves, because sometimes we think that when Rinpoche or any of these great masters, when they come here, they have to give teachings. But actually it is not like that. Just because of the presence, we do get lots of blessing. Like for example, when, like I said, when His Holiness the Karmapa was here, or maybe when Rinpoche was here, what happens is when we meet, maybe in the dining hall, or maybe outside the temple, just making kora, sometimes we bump into other people, or sometimes maybe someone is maybe speaking so loudly, but because of the blessing, we have more patience during that time than normal time. Sometimes you might get so angry as soon as someone bumps into you, but during that time when His Holiness the Karmapa is here, or maybe when Rinpoche is here, even when somebody bumps into you, you don't get so angry because you are afraid that, oh, the Karmapa is here, I should not be getting angry, or maybe Rinpoche is here, I should not be getting so angry. It is like deep inside you because of the devotion and the faith that you have towards the Karmapa and Rinpoche. And even if you hear something bad, you will not listen to them. You will try to be very positive, even if you don't see the Master. Just being here, all this positive energy, all these positive vibes do come. And all these are very important in our practice.
所以呢，我们的这个所以这些大师们，他们光是这个来到这里，来到这个，譬如说来到寺院，这对我们有非常大的这个加持了。我们为什么这么说呢？因为呢，我们在他们身边会不断的检视自身，我们可能光是他们的存在。不用讲任何的事情，我们就会不断的提醒自己要这个多加的小心自己的这个行为。比如说，我们来到寺院，即使没有看到仁波切，没有看到法王，我们可能在这个与其他的朋友们在这个餐厅相遇，或是食堂相遇，或是在这个大殿里，或是在绕塔的时候。要么可能有点撞到其他的人，或是别人讲话很大声，你没有耐心。但是呢，在法王在的时候，还有仁波切在的时候，我们会发现自己更有耐心，更可以忍受这一切。可能平常一碰到这样的情况就会感到生气，但是呢，现在反而就是知道说要忍辱一下，可能会想说大宝法王在，仁波切在这里，我应该更加的注意我自己的修为。所以呢，这是来自于你自己心里内心的这种前进心，对于仁波切的信心等等，而使我们有这样的这个反应。所以呢，如果在这样的情况下，我们听到不好的这些负面的消息，或是不好的事情，我们也会尽量的让自己保持一个正面的心态。这样的都是因为有这些大德们的正面的这个能量的渲染，而让我们可以这样提醒自己有这样的效应。所以呢，这样的一个这样的一个现象，对我们的修持也是非常重要的。
And then it is also very important that whatever we learn in the monastery, so we try to mix that with our daily life. And what happens normally is when we are in the temple, we are a different person. Maybe we have more loving kindness, maybe we have more faith, maybe we have less attachment. But as soon as we go out of the temple, or maybe as soon as we are far from our Rinpoches, again we go back to our normal self. We get attached very easily, we get angry very easily, and that is not a very good sign of our practice. So just like when we are like little calm, little loving kindness, when we are in the monastery, when we are practicing, we have to mix that also with our daily life. And then even during our daily life, when we are working also, it helps. But most of the time, people only practice thinking that it is only meant to be in the monastery, but in our daily life, it is not going to change so much. But it is not like that. We have to put our practice into practice even in our daily life.
那不论我们在这个寺院当中学习到什么，我们都要尝试将它融入我们的生活、日常生活当中。譬如说，有些人在寺院好像变了一个人一样，突然变得非常慈悲，有很强烈的信心，那这执着也变得非常的弱。那一回家，或是一离开寺院，一离开仁波切身边，就会发现自己非常容易的生气，非常容易的升起不同的烦恼。这样的话呢，就是一个收持火候不够的一个现象。我们应该要尝试将自己维持在一个平衡上，就是恒时都像在这个寺院一般的，需要将我们在寺院所学的都带到平常的生活当中，而不是想着说，我在寺院学的只是仅止于在寺院里应用而已，并不是这样子。所以呢，要将这个我们所学所修行的都带到日常生活当中。
And then comes the last stanza. This is about dedication. Chazawada Chujin Shabadan Jisu Yang Kushin So I can Junse Dagi Jisab Tamche Dagi Janjup Chirango. So here when we are dedicating everything positive that we have done. So the merit from prostration, the merit from offering, the merit from confession, the merit from rejoicing, turning the wheel of the Dharma or making them to stay, all this merit that we have done. So in this life that we have gained, or maybe in numerous lives that we have gained, we are trying to dedicate it to all the other sentient beings.
最后一个四句偈呢，就是所有礼赞供养福，请佛住世转法轮，随喜忏悔诸善根，回向众生及佛道。这是7支供养当中的最后一支，也就是回向。那在这里呢，就是回向我们所有的福德、所有的功德，也就是说，我们刚刚至今为止所做的，这个礼敬、供养、忏悔、随喜。请转法轮，还有请佛住世等等，我们将这些功德所有都供养给所有的众生，而不仅止于是今生所累积的这些福德和这些这个功德，来过去生生世世的功德都一起回向给所有的众生。
And talking about dedication, most of us will take this dedication very lightly. Because like even after today's teaching, we do dedication prayer, and we don't have any doubt about that. When we say, whatever merit that we have gained from this morning's class and this afternoon's class, if you do the dedication prayer, everybody will join, everybody will do that very happily. Sometimes we do like 1 week retreat, and again after the end of 1 week retreat, when we say we do the dedication prayer, all of us will do that very happily and without any question. Sometimes maybe at the end of the year, we do Mahakala Puja, and then we try to dedicate everything that we have gained in this year all the merit we try to dedicate to all the sentient beings, again we will do that. Sometimes whatever merit that we have gained in our whole life, we say we will dedicate to all the sentient beings. Again we will do that. I don't think anybody will feel uneasy or feel not so good about it, and everybody will do that.
那这个供养呢，说到供养，我想这个大部分人都会非常容易，觉得非常容易的去做，也没有任何的这个迟疑。譬如说，我们等一下这个教完课，我们会说我们一起回向今天早上和下午说法听法的这个功德，回向给所有众生。相信大家听到这样的这个请求，都会非常乐意的去做。相同的，有时候我们做一个1周的这个法会，在法会结束圆满之后，我们也会说，我们一起做个总回向，回向这周所累积的这个功德，大家也会非常喜欢去做，甚至是这个年底的马哈嘎拉这个忏悔，这个除障法会，大家也会非常欢喜的，将1年所累积的功德都这个回向，或是说有时候我们在这个法会会说将今生所有的功德都回向给所有众生，大家也会跟着做。
And looking at it, one way is maybe we have so much loving kindness and compassion towards all sentient beings, and that is why we are doing the dedication prayer. Maybe dedicating today's merit, or maybe 1 week's retreat's merit, or maybe 1 year's retreat, or maybe my whole life's merit dedicating. Maybe from looking at one way, it is having so much loving kindness and compassion towards all sentient beings. And looking at one way is maybe we don't believe in dedication much. Sometimes it is difficult to accept, but actually I think it is the second one that usually happens with us. Because when we say we are going to dedicate today's merit, I think everybody will do that. But if we say we are going to dedicate today's earning, whatever we earn today, like the wages or maybe salary, if we say we are going to dedicate means sharing. If we say we are going to share to all the sentient beings, I don't think most of us are going to share that. Maybe we will share for 1 day's earning, or maybe 1 day's salary or wage, whatever. But if we are going to share 1 week's salary, then maybe we will have some question about sharing that 1 week's salary. And if it is about 1 year's salary, then definitely I think very few of us are going to willing to share or dedicate that salary. And then if it is about our lifetime's salary, if we are going to say we are going to dedicate, we are going to share with all the sentient beings. And when we are talking about sentient beings, we are not only talking about the beings that we love, the beings, here it also includes beings that we don't know, the beings that we don't like. And if we say we are going to dedicate, or if we are going to share all my lifetime savings, then I don't think any one of us will do that. Definitely not me. I'm not going to be able to do that. And maybe it is with the same with you, or maybe it is not going to be with the same of you. So we have to know that right now when we are practicing, we still have so much to learn. And sometimes we think we are doing it in a proper way, but when we check properly, we will know that we are doing so many mistakes when we are practicing, and we even don't know that we are committing mistake. And like when we use our common sense when we are practicing, how it is changing my mind, whether I am following the practice that I am doing, whether I am really dedicating at all. If we check it properly, then we will know that we just are lying to ourselves again and again and again.
那大家看到大家这么乐意回向做回向，可能有2种情况，一种呢，以一个观点来看，可能大家都具有非常广大的慈悲心，非常乐意的去回向1周、1年，甚至毕生的这个修持、毕生的这个功德给所有众生。但是呢，很可惜的是，大部分是第2个观点，第2个情况，就是我们实际上并没有真的很相信回向这件事，或是说呢，觉得回向这样的一个动作好像比较难以这个接受，难以了解。那譬如说呢，转一个方向来想，如果我们是换成是分享或是回向我们今天的这个收入，我们1天下来的收入，我们将它分享给所有的众生，可能就没有这么多人会分享了吧？那可能1天还好，还会有人做。那1周的收入呢？那1周的收入，大家就开始有些疑惑了，要想2遍了。那1年的呢，更是更少了。甚至说毕生的收入，你都要这个回向或是分享给所有的众生。那可能就没有人做了。我们说所有的众生呢，就不仅只是我们身边我们所爱的这些众生，包括了我们不认识的或是我们非常厌恶的这些众生，我们都要分享给他们。可能说到毕生的这个收入，就没有人会做了。我自己本身是做不来的。可能在座有人可以做到这一点，但是有人可能做不到。那如果这样子来看的话呢，我们就会发现我们在自己的实修当中，在自己的修持当中，可能还有许多要学习。我们在自己的修持当中，甚至可能在不经意、不知道的情况下，犯了许多的错误。有时候我们根本就不知道自己犯了这样的错误。所以呢，在我们的这个修持佛法的时候呢，我们要保持一个这个简单的这种尝试，就是呢要去反思自己的心，透过这样的修持有什么样的改变，然后诚实的面对自己，是否我的行为、我的修持真的是对我有帮助的，这样子一再一再的去反思、反观自己。
And since we don't know how to do the dedication prayer, even when we do the dedication prayer, we are normally reciting that, or just like the Manjushri does dedication prayer, even I will do just like him. So we are just saying that I will follow how Manjushri does his dedication, like when we recite Chambalpa or Chitar Kempadang, means just like when Manjushri does his dedication, I will also do like that, because we don't know how to do the dedication properly, and we just think that we know, but actually when we look at the way we dedicate and how we have the motivation when we are dedicating, then we will know that we still have so much to learn, even how to do dedication properly. And even when we are making offerings, sometimes we don't know how to do the real offering, not the basic offering, like here we already went through that, when we are just making like a real flower offering, that is like the basic offering. But when we are making the real offering, we sometimes say that just like Samantabhadra does offering, I will also make that kind of offering. Because what Samantabhadra, when he makes offering, is from his body, he visualizes that there are millions and millions of light coming out, and then all this light he is making offering towards all the different Buddhas. And each light, again there is on top of each, at the end of each light, there's again another Samantabhadra. So there are like millions and millions of Samantabhadra, and again they are producing another light from their body. So like this it goes on and on. So even when they are making offering, it is extremely vast, the way they are making offering. Even when they are dedicating, it is very different from what we are making of dedication prayer. And it is very important for us to know that whether what I have been doing till now, whether I have been doing it correctly or whether it is incorrect. And then if we find something incorrect, then definitely there is scope of altering or changing if we see something wrong. If we don't see something wrong, then we will definitely don't want to look for changes.
所以呢，我们实际上并不知道怎么样回向。所以呢，这也是为什么我们在回向的时候会念愿文，会说，如文殊师利菩萨怎么回向，我就怎么回向。在这里呢，就代表着说，我们觉得我们知道怎么回向，但是实际上我们并不知道。我们还有许多要学习的，实修上面还有许多要学习的。就只是这个回向，我们都不知道实际上怎么回向，甚至是供养的时候，我们也不知道怎么供养。刚刚回向的时候，拉玛有说到，我们会说回向偈会说，文殊师利勇猛之普贤行愿亦复然，我今回向诸善根，随彼一切常修学的意思就是说我学文殊菩萨这么去回向。那在做供养的时候，我们相同也是实际上没有了解真正的供养。我们知道普通的这个物质上的供养，但是我们并不知道这种无上的真正的供养怎么做。所以在这里呢，普贤行愿品当中也有说到，这个普贤菩萨在做供养的时候，他是去观想自己的身体发出了无量数的光芒。然后呢，一一光芒射向这个一尊佛陀或是一尊菩萨，然后献上供养。那每一道光芒的这个芒峰上面又有另一尊这个普贤菩萨，那这尊普贤菩萨又放光，又供养更多的菩萨，这样以此类推，有无量无数的这个普贤菩萨在做供养，这是真正的供养的这个方式，这是非常广大的。那连同这个回向也是非常广大的，所以呢，我们在至今为止都不知道如何的去如法的做这些，所以呢，我们首先要了解到，很重要的一点是要意识到我们在做的修持当中有什么是正确的，什么是不正确的。当我们看到自己所做是不正确的、不如法的，我们才有机会改进。如果我们连自己做错什么都不知道，我们就更不会知道说哪里要进步，哪里要改进了。
And I think when we have some questions, when we are doing the practice, like some doubts, some questions, then it means that we are starting to understand the teaching a little. And when we don't have any questions, then it means normally that we have not spent so much time or being so aware about our practice. Because like for example, if somebody talks to me and says if I have any questions on maybe chemistry, then maybe I will not have any questions because I have no idea. I don't have any idea about chemistry. So when I have no idea about chemistry, then I will definitely not have any questions because I don't know anything at all. But if somebody says that maybe do you have any question in English, then maybe I will be having some questions, maybe how to pronounce, maybe how to use the vocabulary, maybe how to use the past tense, future tense, like that. Because since I know a little, so there will always be some questions in my understanding of English. But if somebody says, if I have any questions on chemistry like that, then I will say, oh, I don't have any questions on chemistry. Because when I don't have any idea, then definitely I will not have any question. And just like that, it is the same case with our practice. So when we practice, and when we have some questions in our practice, then normally it means that we are putting more effort, and because of that we have some questions. Because of that we have lamas here, we have khenpos here, so you can always ask them if you have any questions on your practice and understanding of the text.
所以呢，当我们对于一个教导有一些问题或是一些想法的时候呢，就象征着我们对于这个教导开始有点理解了。否则呢，则是代表说我们没有花太多的时间在这个教诲上面，或是没有好好的去注意自己的修持。举个例子，如果有人突然问我说我对于化学有没有任何的问题，我会说我可能没有任何问题，因为我对化学一概不通。 那相反的人问我说我对英语有没有什么问题的时候，我可能会请教他说某个字眼怎么发音，或是这个名词是什么意思，某个动词这个形容词要怎么用等等。因为我对于英语有这个学习，我相同的也会对他们有一些问题。那有人问，所以反之呢，当有人问我一点都不懂的化学的时候，我因为没有任何的这个知识，我则会没有任何相应的这个问题。那相同的，在我们的修持当中，如果有你在对于自己的修持开始升起疑惑的时候呢，这就象征着你在修持上有尽了一点这个力气，那所以呢开始升起一些不懂的地方，不懂一些疑惑。那这时呢，我们这也是为什么寺院有这个拉玛、有上师、有堪布，他们就是为了可以为你在这个你的修持上面，还有你的经典这个理解上面的疑惑，他们是在这里为了帮助我们排解这些疑惑的。
And I think we can stop here for today's class. And today I think it was also showed online, so there was one question online. And the office sent me the question. I have heard that each successive branch of the 7 branches has greater and greater merit and greater benefit. For example, offering has greater merit than prostration. Confession has greater merit than offering. My question is, why is this so? What is the reason for this? Could Lama please comment on this aspect of the 7 branches?
那今天的课就讲到这里。那接下来这个问答的部分呢，我们今天的课程因为在网络上也有这个直播，所以网络上有一个提问是说，我听闻过说有这样的一个说法，七支供养当中，你随着一支走下去，每一支的这个功德会越发的这个增长，越发的广大。譬如说这个供养支比这个敬礼支的这个功德还大。或是说随喜之比这个忏悔之的这个供养的功德还大，请拉玛解释一下，或是说这个阐述一下为什么会这样子。
I'm exactly not so sure if this is true for this 7 branch offering, saying that the next one is of greater merit than the first one. But when we talk about the 6 perfections, then we do talk like that. Instead of the generosity, discipline is of much greater merit, and more than the discipline, the patience has more merit. This is because during the 6th perfection we say that generosity or being generous is quite easy to become generous, but to follow the discipline is much harder than being generous. So that is why when we are following the discipline, this brings in more merit than just being generous. And again, so being patient is more difficult than following the discipline, and that is why when we are able to follow the practice of patience, it brings in more benefit than just following the discipline. So it goes on like that with the 6 perfections. But with the 7 branch offerings, because of my limited understanding, or maybe because of my limited reading, I don't remember seeing that. But maybe if it is like that, then maybe it might be like the same reason. But I cannot be so sure. And when I'm not so sure, I have to say I don't know much.
那针对这个7支供养呢，我不太确定是否如此。我们通常说有这样的一个说法，是在这个6度般若波罗蜜，6度波罗蜜当中的这个修持，也就是我们会说这个布施，我们会说忍辱的功德多过于持戒，持戒的功德多过于布施。那这是为什么呢？因为布施相对来说比这个持戒还容易做得到，而持戒相对来说比忍辱还容易做得到。因此呢，在你修6度波罗蜜的时候，你越是往上修，这个功德累积的也就越大。也就是说，你修持忍辱的这个功德是多过于 持戒的，然后修持持戒的功德是多过于布施的。那七支供养来说，我可能因为自己听闻的不够，所以我没有记忆有这么样的一个说法。但是如果确实有这样的说法的话，可能也是类似的原因。但是我因为没有听过，所以我就不予置评了。
And there was another question, I think maybe like a day or two back during lunch. So somebody asked, it was in the text, maybe like something saying like, because of my, maybe like having a very good life, it is bringing like obstacles to my path. Maybe the correct word might not be the same, but I think the meaning was something like that. And that is, sometimes we don't think that when we have a very good life, or when we have a very smooth life, it is like an obstacle. We don't think like that. But actually it is. Like when we talk about the samsara, and when we talk about the God realm, and we say that when we are born in a God realm, everything is extremely good over there. The food is good, the life is good, the clothes are good, the place where sit are good, the place where sleep. These are all like the best quality that we can have. And then when we have that, we forget to practice. If we think about ourselves, like for example, whatever we like to enjoy. So some of us might enjoy watching movies, some of us might enjoy watching basketball, some of us might enjoy listening to music, some of us just like maybe enjoy eating in a restaurant. We have like different ways of enjoying ourselves. And if we remember properly, like if you like listening to music, and then if you have the best musicians in front of you, the ones that you like, and if they are playing, and you will forget about practicing because you are so into the music that they are playing. So you will listen to one song, you will listen to 2 songs, 3 songs, 4 songs, and it will continue with that. And you are so deep into that that you will not think about anything else. You are just so absorbed into listening to that music. And then you forget about practicing. And then if you are so devoted into watching sports, so when the sports is going live, maybe in a stadium or maybe on a TV, then you don't feel like practicing. You don't feel like joining a puja or maybe reciting mantras. You are just so into watching that sport. And just like that, it is the same case in the God realm, where everything is very smooth, and when it is only enjoyment, we don't feel like practicing. And we can say that when the life is extremely smooth, then we will definitely don't practice much. But when we have like little ups and downs, and if you check yourself properly, when you are sick, you think of the Buddha, you think of the medicine Buddha, you think of practicing, you think about temple, you think about Rinpoche. But when you are doing extremely well, I am pretty sure most of us don't think about medicine Buddha, we don't think about Rinpoche, we don't think about teaching, but only when we face difficulties, we think about the Dharma, we think about the Buddha. So it is very important for us to have some kind of suffering, so it reminds us of practicing. And that is why we say when life is going extremely smooth, it is like an obstacle in our path.
那还有前几天在午餐的时间呢，好像有一个人这么提问说，那我觉得我的今生可能很坎坷，对，所以呢，因此对我这个修持佛法带来了许多的这个障碍。那事实上呢，可能我这么说有点违反我们正常的逻辑。我们通常会觉得说，一个无忧无虑的生活就是代表说没有障碍，但是呢，在我们来看，并不一定是如此。举个例子，以这个天道的这个众生来说，天道的众生他们享有着上妙的饮食、衣物，还有最好的这个睡眠的条件啊等等的。那因此呢，他们没有这个心去修持佛法。那为什么这么说呢？ 譬如说你对于电影非常的感兴趣，或是你非常喜欢看这个球赛，你喜欢吃东西，喜欢去餐厅享用各种美食。我们每个人有不同享受的方式，每个人有不同沉溺的一些事物。那当你譬如说你非常喜欢音乐，你找到了一个你非常喜欢的专辑，你听着这个专辑，你非常的沉溺于这个音乐当中，你就会一首接着一首接着一首的去听，那这时候你就会忘记了要去修持佛法。那相同的，如果你非常的喜欢这个球赛赛事，那当有球赛的时候，直播的时候，你就会记得要打开你的电视，或是去球场去看这个实况。这时候呢，你就会忘记要持咒，忘记要去参加法会。那相同的，当你在这个天人过着这么舒适的生活的时候呢，你就不会去想到，不会去考虑到要修持佛法。所以呢，在人生当中，我们说要有起伏是非常重要的一件事。譬如说，当你生病的时候，你可能会想到药师佛，想到药师佛，你就想到释迦牟尼佛，想到寺院，想到仁波切等等。那通常呢，我们生活没有什么烦恼的时候，反而想不到寺庙，想不到佛，想不到仁波切。只有在遇到困境的时候，会想到这些东西，想到佛法修持。所以呢，我们实际上呢，对修持佛法来说，在人生当中碰到一些困难是好事。没有困难反而是修法上的障碍。
And we will stop our today's class here for today. And I would like to thank you all for coming. And some of you might have come from far place, some of you might be from quite near. But even if you are near, you do have so many things to do. Like you might have work, even if you don't have like official work, but still in your home you will have like laundry to do, cleaning, cooking, so many things to do. And you left all these aside and came here for the class, and I would like to thank you all for coming.
那今天我们就讲到这里。那我想要非常感谢各位，不管你从远方或是近处来听法，我知道大家的生活当中都非常的繁忙，可能在这个工作或是家务当中抽空，来到这里，决定抽空来这里听法，想要感谢各位。
Thank you, Choja Lama, for teaching, and thank you all participants, and who we hope to receive teaching again from you. On behalf of Thangam Monastery, I really thank you from deep of my heart to the Choja Lama, and to translator Jeff. Thank you for translating. And today's teaching looks like very basic teaching, but very important on daily practice, because we do like the morning we do Tara, and afternoon we do the Mahakala. We have to include this 7th branch of offering in like all different kind of practice. So thank you for teaching, and hope you enjoy the teaching, and thank you for coming here. And to appreciate that, we will do the mandala. Please follow the Omje. Thank you.
那非常感谢确觉喇嘛王丑给予的这个教导，也非常感谢大家来这里听法。那我们也在这里呢，代表创古寺向喇嘛请他再一次不断的再来回来讲法，再转法轮。那今天的佛法可能这教导可能听起来比较觉得很基础，但是呢其实是非常重要的一课，因为我们在早晨的这个度母共修，还有下午的马哈卡拉都包含着这7支供养，所以呢这是非常重要的一个修持。那最后呢，为表感谢这个喇嘛讲课，我们要供养他曼达。
page number 25, the Aspiration prayer book.
祈愿文25页，请跟喇嘛一起念诵这个供养曼达的赞文。
我这座我当知见小波当知作也让故乡作我给我众生都给知作不同知都给众众知我本自然所多所玛雅玛努巴本自然所多的努巴地扎地多没巴瓦苏多加有没巴瓦苏波加有没巴瓦努拉多没Sarva Siddhi Me Braya Za Sarva Karma Sudha Me Zedama Shiriya Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Dada Gada Benzra Mame Munza Benzre Bhava Ma Samai Sadhu Benzra Bhumi Ahun Shi Nambara Daba Wanjin Sringi Sa Shi Benza Ringi Chi Jari Kuryogi Rave Yunzo Gurve Vizori Jabori Won Chora Shara Bambo Lon Zambo De No Balan Chan Jamini Ludan Lupa Ngaya Dan Ngaya Shi Yuden Dan Lam Chon Chon Dami Nyen Dan Dami Nyen Nyen Da Rinpo Chi Riwo Basam Ye Shi Teje Yewa Mami Baye Lodo Kolo Rinpo Chi Nurbo Rinpo Chi Zumo Rinpo Chi Lumbo Rinpo Lombo Rinpoche, Dojo Rinpoche, Mobe Rinpoche, Diren Chenpe, Bumbo, Gimo Mo, Chenwa Mo, Lu Mo, Mendo Mo, Dube Mo, Nonsa Mo, Tija Mo, Ni Mo, Dawa Rinpoche, Yendo, Chole Nambre, Gavin Jans Wezo la da mi ya ba jiro bunzum so ba ma zang ba me ba rab jam ja zun dun je dang de ba ngun ba rang gu ba din ba de la ma dang ba dun je de do ze ne me na chen je je ga ma wang ju do den shi je wa ba la sang be shang an Samo Chiji Gulo Lemburan Dube Guden Dangranji Yundon Boranji Tojen Dove Dundo Sheso Shinin Jinji Lando Zo Sashi Benji Jungshi Mendon Da Riro Denshi Niden Jembandi Sanje Shendo Mide Puwa Ye Dogwe Namda Shinla Jimbora Shu. Page number 216.
216页。
拉玛古康桑布拉苏瓦的诸多古在人布拉苏瓦。真正的人也不让做完的老马当朝完没不让人家乱把的老面上边的把当看你们用乱的眼中我大姐马的做在这张你牛多三件撒浪滚把来说老马古看嘛桑我的做完的就多古在人我的做完真正的人也不让做完的老马当朝完没不让人家乱把的老面上边的把当看你们用乱的眼中我大些马的做在这张你牛多三件撒浪滚把来说 everyone who wants to make an offering, you can stand up and make the offerings.
想要供养的人现在可以上前供养。
我拉曼古光松我拉苏瓦电出度古自人我拉苏瓦真的多些也不拉苏瓦的拉曼当着我们不然真也罗不的拉面下边的不当看你们用来的研究我。大学马的坐在这站的牛多三界萨拉滚巴拉修拉曼古干桑瓦拉苏瓦的就多古在人瓦拉苏瓦真的得见也拉苏瓦的拉曼当着我们巴拉见也罗巴的拉面下边的巴当看你们用来的研究大些马的坐在这站的牛多三界萨拉滚巴拉修拉曼古干桑瓦拉苏瓦的就多古在人瓦拉苏瓦真的得见也巴拉苏瓦的拉曼当着我们巴拉见也罗巴的拉面下边的巴当看你们用来的研究大些马的坐在这站的牛多三界萨拉滚巴拉修拉曼古干嘛桑瓦拉苏瓦的就多古在人瓦拉苏真的得见也拉苏瓦的拉曼当着我们巴拉见也罗巴的边的巴当看你用来的研究瓦当大些马的坐在这站的牛多三界萨拉滚巴拉修拉古干桑瓦拉苏瓦的就多古在人瓦拉苏瓦的真的得见也拉苏瓦的拉曼当着我们巴拉见也巴的拉面下边的巴当看你们用来的研究大些马的坐在这站的牛多三界萨拉滚巴拉修拉曼古干嘛桑瓦拉苏瓦的就多古在人瓦拉苏真的得见也拉苏瓦的拉曼当着我们巴拉见也罗巴的拉面下边的巴当看你们用来的研究大些马的坐在这站的牛多三界萨拉滚巴拉修拉曼古干桑瓦拉苏瓦的古祖古在人瓦拉苏真的得见也拉苏瓦的拉曼当着我们巴拉见也罗巴的拉面下边的巴当看你们用来的研究大些马的坐在这站的牛多三界萨拉滚巴拉修拉曼古干嘛桑瓦拉苏瓦的就多古在人瓦拉苏瓦真的得见也拉苏瓦的拉曼当着我们巴拉见也罗巴的拉面下边的巴当看你们用来的研究大些马的坐在这站的牛多三界萨拉滚巴拉修拉曼古干嘛桑瓦拉苏瓦的就多古在人瓦拉真的得见也拉苏瓦的拉曼当着我们巴拉见也罗巴的拉面下边的巴当看你们用来的研究大些马的坐在这站的牛多三界萨拉滚巴拉修拉曼古干嘛桑瓦拉苏瓦的就多古在人瓦拉苏 天天得心结罗苏我的罗摩当朝我们不然经结罗不的罗面小边的不当个你们用罗恩的结中大家马的做在这张的牛多三界萨拉滚不然修。Page number 217.
217页。
我是南的耶汤杰斯波尼，同年年别着南旁杰的结果南杰波来中波。西边做的中国牛肉的修。
回校必须。